Good evening, folks. Welcome. Just another conversation, and I want to welcome to every one of you to the show. Um, I really don't know whether the show is going to take off, or this is just going to be another downer, or it could turn out to be the biggest show in the world. Who the fuck knows? But anyways, thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all who have subscribed. Thanks to all of you who have been with me from the beginning. This is just a very early beginning. We don't even have 100 subscribers yet. Everybody's been there, and I don't have a lot of money to pay to promote this channel, so we're just taking our time and going real slow, and that's okay. I honestly don't care. I'm sure it's gonna be just fine. Anyway, let's move to a very disgusting news and very disturbing news. I think it's disturbing. There's a lot of disturbing shit going on with country nowadays. Well, talking about this, I've been talking about the SNAP benefits yesterday or the day before, and how just these laws and rules that they have created are just really not um, something that a lot of people are going to go for. It, people are going to hate it. Um, Politicians are going to love it. The rich are going to love it. And that's just the way it is. Now, there's nothing that we can directly change, although we probably should have. Um, just like many other nations do when politicians are uh, effing up their country, they go out and they protest. Some peacefully and some not so peacefully. Um, I am not calling for revolution, although there should be one, um, a big one, um, peaceful but big. I'm not talking like a few thousand people. I'm talking about millions of people possibly, and I think that's the only way to change things. Now, you go out there for with 5,000, 10,000 people, 15,000 people. That's not going to do much. Okay, so let's talk about this because I see right here that we should have fucked. Um, Food stamps are feeding a lot of children in this country. It's feeding a lot of people who are mentally disabled. It's feeding a lot of people who are physically disabled who cannot make it to work. It's feeding a lot of veterans. It's feeding a lot of refugees. A lot of, well, I would even say certain animals, right? I mean, you buy meat, you cook it, you give it to your dog, to your cat, whatnot. And it's really upsetting that we have people that we have chosen as stupid people, and I would say stop electing stupid people into the office of the United States of America. And mostly stupid old people, you know, and there are also stupid young people that we could have elected, but the problem is we never do elect young people. And even when we do, and we do give them a chance to kind of start growing, like we had a couple of them back in 2020, but something went sideways, and we had the same result as in 2016. But anyways, besides the point, this snap thing is going to hurt very many people. It's gonna be a complete mess. Uh, People are going to die. Children are possibly going to die. Not possibly, but most likely. Um, the rich are going to get richer as usual, and poor are going to get poorer. There's nothing we can really do but sit and watch this whole monstrous and monstrosity of a monster, terrible bill unravel on everybody. We're just gonna watch this terrible bill take a piss on everyone and take a shit on all of us. All right, not on top of us, but right in our mouths, because that's what's happening. And there's nothing we can do about it, right? We can go out there and protest peacefully, but every time that happens, politicians just know. They go like, ah, it's just the same old freaking protest. They're not gonna do anything. They're just gonna go out there and complain for a couple of hours, and they're gonna go away. Now, I, the way it's done overseas, you have millions, just like they did in Belgrade and Serbia. I mean, there was like over 1.5 million people showed up just in the city of Belgrade, and that city alone only has like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 million people. So half of the city of Belgrade came out and protested against the dictatorship of Serbia. So um, that's what we need to do here. But unfortunately, many people are satisfied with the way they live, and they don't want to disturb anything, and they don't want to touch anything. It's kind of one of those like safe zones that they live in, and they're comfortable. And I understand that. People are afraid to speak up, and nowadays, you can't talk to your freaking neighbors about politics because you're afraid you're gonna end up in jail, or he's gonna pull out a gun and kill you. Because just because we have different political, opinions, and unfortunately, we live in a country right now which is on the edge of civil war. I would say that because I come from one, and I know we're not in it yet, but we're for surely, slowly but surely, getting closer. Uh, People don't want to believe that. When you say civil war, people just go, yeah, that's not gonna happen here. Okay, well, I said the same thing in my country, and it actually freaking happened. And it was a disaster. 400,000 people died. Neighbor shoot at a neighbor. Best friend shoots at a best friend. Family member shoot at a family member. Civil war is a dirty, disgusting, dangerous war. It's filthy. It's venomous. It's revengeless. There's so much to that war. It is not like a world war. Civil war is different. It's kind of like when you really hate uh, like your neighbor that you've known for 20, 30 years, and then you gotta do the unimaginable. You know what I mean? But it gets really bloody. It's just that it's not something that people here want. Trust me. So we gotta go the peaceful way. Now, um, I can just go on about these SNAP benefits. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about it, but it's just my opinion. I feel like they're saying you have to have 80 hours of work. And let me just say something. They're saying Hope already passed away. I can tell you that that's not possible because I've been dealing with DHS for many, many years. And I can tell you that they can get up your ass so deep that there's no way in hell that these people would. They know everything about you, what you're eating now or tomorrow. They know when you were born. They know when your kids were born, your family, your grandfather, your grandmother, your grandmother. I mean, they have all the files of what you're making, how much you're making, the and how much you're going to make. I mean, it is just crazy. So it's not possible to go around DHS. Okay, so the fact that they're saying that almost 200,000 dead people are receiving SNAP is just crazy. They just want an excuse. Okay, they're looking for administration is looking for an excuse not to give people their benefits, their food, what belongs to them. Okay, well, I can tell you, SNAP, formerly known as food stamps, helps almost 42 million people who are low on income, or well, on the lower side of income, right? Recent federal actions and new USDA directives are projected to remove millions of recipients from the program. At the same time, the Trump administration's demand for recipient data has sparked a conflict with Democratic. He's saying that this is going to be the thing mostly with the Democratic states. So you're pretty much spewing hate. You know, this is how you divide. This is how you divide people. Okay, this is how shit starts. You say, well, I only like this kind of people in this part of the country. I don't like these kind of people in this kind of country or this side of the country or whatever it is that they're trying to do. But divided country is weak. And especially as big as the country this is, 380 plus million people, it is impossible to stay in power uh, and not start a war, or not at least not divide a country, because that's the only way to do it. Because if when people are divided, that's when they're the weakest, right? You can divide people in three different. I mean, my country was divided in three different places, and in three different nationalities, and they've managed to do that. They can do that. They can do the same thing here, and they're starting to do it. They're starting to divide this country by nationality, by color, by how much they're making, by where they're working. I mean, all that shit matters because it's going to happen, and it's happening right now. But people are just not aware because it hasn't hit them yet. Now, I do want to say that this moron Pete Hegseth, I don't know who in their right mind would ever put this man to lead anything. I I wouldn't even let this guy lead. I wouldn't even let Pete Hegseth take care of my mother. Like, not because I don't think that he would be like a trustworthy person, but just the guy is just not able, like mentally, uh, 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 to comprehend and to sustain that kind of day to day activity. Okay, the guy's just not very smart. I mean, okay, uh, just because you're a journalist, I'm not gonna say not, I have nothing against journalists. Okay, but the guy is just unqualified. You cannot be a part-time Fox News a journalist and a lead a military. Okay, this is the you. Okay, just so you know, United States military is the most powerful military in the history of the world right now as we're speaking, right? Russia is up there. Then we have India. Then we have I don't know, like I would say Germany, Britain, or Iran. I don't know, you know, but U.S. is definitely on the top. Russia is on the top. China is in the top three. Those top three, right? And then you have Pete Hegseth, who is just a laughable. The guy is just embarrassing. He's embarrassing our country, embarrassing our military, embarrassing everyone, all those officers, all those veterans, and all those people that have their top uh, commanders. And I don't really know I don't really know the military ranks, but I'm just saying that Pete Hegseth is definitely an embarrassment to the military of the United States. And the guy is just Trump let him do whatever he wants to do. He's just a part-time Fox News uh, journalist, right? This freaking guy only worked a couple of days a week at the Fox News, and here it is, controlling the biggest military in the world. Imagine, imagine if anybody, any other president in the history of the United States did this. It, you know, Republicans will never stop talking about it. Neither would the Democrats. I mean, they're just going out there and bombing people. Here is family of fishermen. Family of fishermen are killed in a U.S. boat strike. Excuse me, and they're filing a human rights complaint. I would too. They're going out there and just bomb. Have you guys seen these boats that they're bombing? U.S. military is bombing these little tiny ass boats. That there you can probably use these boats to go fishing up in the Michigan Lake. I mean, these are tiny little fisherman boats. They're not like boats that you can transport like tons of drugs with. I mean, these are just a little. These are like a fisherman boat. Okay, most of these boats that they're bombing are family boats. Okay, And of course, family is going to sue, and they should personally sue Pete Hexet for doing not the U.S. military, but Pete Hexet because he's a piece of crap. The family of the Colombian fisherman who was killed in the September 15th U.S. military strike in the Caribbean Sea filed a formal complaint Tuesday with the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, alleging the U.S. government illegally killed him. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Secretary Hexet has admitted that he gave such orders despite the fact that he did not know the identity of those being targeted for those bombings and judicial killings, they added. Yes, of course you did know. Have you guys seen that Christy Nome or whatever fuck her name is? That lady, I saw that you interviewed with her yesterday. I don't know if you guys have seen the dolls, those robot dolls. They have like fake hair and fake eyes and fake, just like everything fake. Like she's just standing like this, and her eyes are just like this, and her mouth is moving, but her eyes are not moving. So she's just like, yes, I've heard, I understand what's going on, blah 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 blah, and like her face is just like still. Her eyes are like not even the eyelids are not even like, you know what I'm saying? There's no like facial movements to this lady. Like Christy Nome is like like a robot. I think she might actually be a fucking robot because like just look at her interviews. Like last night she had this interview, and she keeps saying this thing about I can't exactly pinpoint what they were talking about. I think I had to do something. Oh yeah, this man. I wanted to talk about that. The man that has killed the 20-year-old National Guard, the lady who has passed away, God bless her soul, and her family. I can't believe. I just can't imagine what her family is going through right now. I wouldn't want to be there in their spot. They're going through hell right now, and that family right now needs the most support that they can get. And I'm not sure that the administration is giving her the support. The family of the lady who's been killed, actually executed on the streets of Washington D.C. when she was had nothing to do. She just wanted to come out there and help, and that was that. And then she look what happened to her. So they were talking about on Fox News last night, and they're still blaming these things on Joe Biden, saying that this person that have shot these two people, that he was let in. He was given a citizenship, I believe, during Joe Biden, but his background check wasn't done and finalized up until the Trump administration. It's called vetting. So he wasn't vetted during Biden. He was vetted during Trump. So they knew everything about this dude, and yet he came out and then he killed this poor girl, and then fatally injured the other National Guard member. And I don't know what even happened to the other kid. I mean, they're kids, 20 years old, 24 years old. For me, they're kids, you know. And I don't know what happened I don't know what happened to the other to the kid, to a man, 24-year old that was with her that day. I know that she's passed away, but I don't know what happened to him. I know he was critically injured, and this guy who who did this, I mean, he should be put in an electrical chair. I mean, I would, um, if they have a proof that he did it and they caught him on camera, put the guy in an electric chair and give it a minute because that's what he deserves. Okay. Um. So the what's her name? The Kristen Noem, the robot lady. That's what I call her because this she just stands like this, like she has no facial expressions, just like normal people do. You know what I'm saying? And can you just imagine putting this moron? I mean, to me, he looks like a moron. Like I mean, there's videos of him out there getting drunk in the jacuzzi and talking to women inappropriately. And I mean, this guy, Pete Hegseth, he's a total loser when it comes to running a U.S. military. Maybe he's not a loser when it comes to like his personal life. He's a journalist. I mean, I guess if you're saying it like that, he's not a real loser. But you know what I mean. U.S. military. There's so many high-ranked people and generals, and it's U.S. military, man. I mean, come on. And you have this bozo running things, and then you have Christine Nome running things. I mean, at this point, I think I would probably trust her more than I would him. So, and just look at this guy. I'm looking at him right now. The guy is just, I don't know. I just don't understand how can someone unqualified run a U.S. military, no qualification whatsoever. A journalist, a guy who has been speaking on the news, a newsman. He did freaking weather channels. Do you understand? My uncle, my uncle was a general in, well, yes, he was. He was one of the highest ranking generals in the Serbian military. My uncle was. Um, Željko Stupar. And he was up there with a big during the Serbian war, Kosovo war and Bosnian war. My uncle was up there next to Milosevic and Mladic and those guys. And I know the school that you have to go through and what you have to go through to become a general. And to you gotta be so, you have to have so much education. You have to have so much experience in the U.S. military to become uh, a proper leader, a someone who's gonna run U.S. military properly. You're not running at McDonald's. You're running the most powerful, most insanely powerful military in the world. I mean, just speaking of United States, uh, not just Navy, but this country can literally obliterate any country with just planes. This is how powerful U.S. military is. Now, we're not powerful boots on the ground, but U.S. is powerful when it comes to, you know, we got great Navy and great uh, just everything but boots on the ground. I just don't think there's enough people. Let's say if we got into a war with a country like Russia or something like that, that wouldn't play out so well. But the U.S. has enough planes to put anybody out of business, like in a matter of an hour or two. And they don't even have to use boots on the ground. U.S. doesn't have to use anything else but planes, and they can destroy literally any country in the world. And the thing is, this we have a bozo like Pete Hexet running it. This man, he needs to resign right now. He's dangerous. He should be running nothing more than McDonald's. This man is not qualified, and this is why this country is in a lot of danger. Uh, and we there needs to be someone qualified, like a high-ranking member of military. Like, okay, I don't know many generals in U.S. military, but I think, not think, but I know for sure that Mark Kelly, okay, maybe he's not the best freaking Democrat or the best politician, but if you really want to talk about somebody running U.S. military, on the top of my head, like Mark Kelly comes to be like the person. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Mark Kelly could run a U.S. military. He's way more qualified than this piece of crap, being said, the HEGSEATH, or maybe even, I don't know, like even anybody that served military. I mean, like this dude has never even served military. I don't know. Has he even served military ever? I don't know. Now let's move on to Russia. So it says Vladimir Putin says he's ready to go to war with Europe, gripping the EU leaders have sabotaged peace talks. And yes, they do. Europe always sabotages these peace talks. They want, they want Ukraine to become part of NATO. It's never going to happen. Okay, they can try, and I can tell you, good luck with that, because Russia will never ever let it happen. Ukraine will never be part of NATO. So let's just jump over that right away. Let's get that out of the way. Ukraine will never be in NATO. Period. That's done. Number two, Russian they're calling Vladimir Putin dictator. I'm sorry, he's not a dictator. Um, he said he's ready to go to war with Europe, accusing EU leaders of sabotaging peace talks with the US. He goes, "We're not planning to go to war with Europe, but if Europe wants to start, we're ready right now." This is how crazy Russians are. They actually would do it. And Putin is a guy. He will warn you and warn you and warn you, and eventually he's gonna break and he's gonna do it. Russia will do it. They're gonna do it. It's just a matter of time. I think they're still planning how they're going to do it, but I think Europe is in a lot of trouble. I think I wouldn't say world war, but I would say European war, if you were to call it, is around the corner. If European countries, especially the Western, like Germany, France, England, I don't know, Poland, don't stay out of it, and United States, it's gonna be bloody, and Putin's not gonna let it. Putin's not gonna let it fly, guys. Putin is the reason people of Russia have never been happier, even though there's a lot of innocent dead soldiers and people. Russian people understand why this war is being led, just like Ukrainians understand why this war is going on. Although it should never be, this war should have never happened. It is probably one of the stupidest things. But if you go back in the history and you watch news and you read some books and you concentrate on historical interests of Russia and the World War II and see where Russia and Ukraine were 80 years ago, you know, then then maybe things would turn around because most of these politicians don't mind to read the history. Most of them don't even know why Russia is even doing what they're doing. Okay, they just straight say the dictator. They started the war first and da 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 da. But I believe, and I'm sorry to all the people, but there is a reason why this is going on. I hope that this is going to stop soon, and I hope they find. I see if I was in question, I would give up a piece of land to save people's lives. Because to me, just land is not worth it. It just isn't. Okay, people's lives are way more worth it than piece of land, or I don't know how many 1,000 square miles or whatever it is, or five or a couple of thousand square miles of land. Okay, over which they're having uh, problems finding an agreement now. So I can see that. I can see why that would be a problem, but I just don't see it being worth all these hundreds of thousands of people are dead. And I would say, just give it up, man. Zelensky, give it up. Just let the people live. Give it up. Let the freaking guy get what he wants. We don't want any more people dead, because this can turn into a bloodier war than it already is. It can spread out into whole Europe. It can spread out into the world. It can it can trigger a World War III. It's just not worth it. That piece of land. Yes, I understand they're saying that Ukrainian land as dirt is the richest dirt in the world. They're saying if you, and this is just what I heard and what I read, they're saying literally if you put a stick into the ground, something will grow out of it in a couple of days or a week or 2 weeks. That's how rich that soil is in Ukraine, and I think that black soil, that dirt, that land is so powerful, it's so good that everybody wants a piece of it. And I think this is what the problem is. Everybody wants a piece of it. And I've heard that a lot of that land what is taken from Ukraine and it's been given by millions of tons to other countries who can't grow, uh, you know, vegetables or fruits or whatever it is. They're saying just go to Ukraine, buy some land from there, and U.S. is buying land from over there because I don't know. I just don't think the dirt is really good. Like over here in Michigan, where I live, even if you go out in the country and you stick a freaking shovel down into the ground, you're gonna find a lot of sand. There's a lot of sand in the dirt here. If you look at the dirt in the Ukraine, the ground is black. Like The dirt is like black and rich and just looks right. Like the dirt here is all sandy and it's just not good. Like vegetables all come out like this like weird looking, and you have to use a lot of pesticides because there's so many bugs. So I do think that this war is mostly being fought over land, but it's just not worth it. Okay, it's just not. And Putin has been. And look, many people say, well, Russia is weak. They cannot beat Ukraine. They cannot do this. Russia is not weak. Okay, Russia is just playing smart. Um, and Ukrainians are amazing fighters, very brave, really strong. It's the same people. I see Ukrainians and Russians to be the same thing, same blood, same everything. So I just don't really understand why this is happening. And both have this like great uh, kind of like when you're born of a fighter, you're always a fighter, and that's why this war has been going on for so long because you have two great warriors fighting, and it could be anybody's win. You know what I mean? But Russia is definitely powerful enough so they can win this war anytime they want. It's just they're trying to be careful. They don't want casualties. Uh, Russia doesn't want casualties to rise above necessary, and that's why they're taking necessary measures and they're doing it nice and slow, and everything is planned accordingly. This is why, if Russia really wanted to take over Ukraine overnight, they probably could. I mean, let's just face it, okay? Just like if U.S. invaded Mexico or Venezuela or something like that, right? I mean, you can't compare them to Ukraine. I'm just saying that U.S. would probably could do it in a week or less. Um, but I would say that this war in Ukraine is very dangerous. They need to do something really quickly. It seems to me like European Union and NATO are purposely instigating war with Russia. They purposely. It seems to me like somebody here wants this war with Russia. They want it so bad, and the Putin's not giving it to them. You know what I'm saying? The Putin's being smart, uh, and he's not letting them get to him. They, the NATO and European Union, they want Putin. They want Putin to use those nukes. They want Putin to use the best of his ability, the best of his weapons, because then they're gonna have an excuse to do the same. That's what they're waiting for. But it's just not gonna happen because Russia is not that stupid. They're not gonna fall for a cheap trick like that. But if there's a real deal proposed on the table, and a seriously real deal, if they come up to Russia and say, "Hey, let's end this war," okay? Here's the deal. Here's how we want things to look like. Okay, you're gonna get the land that you've already taken, and stop attacking Ukrainians, stop attacking Kiev, whatever. Let's just end this. These fuckers can end this overnight. They just don't want to. All right, because they're politicians. They always try to prolong wars because they're profitable and they make them a lot of money. Although a lot of peoples are lost, but it's profitable and that's why they do it. Every war is the same. It's always like that. Even the war in Bosnia, in the former Yugoslavia, nobody wanted that war, but there were few on the top who wanted it because it's profitable. And now those people are not around because they're either ended up in the prison or dead. So, folks, thank you so much for those of you who have joined shortly. Thank you for whatever seconds or minutes you've been here. Um, I'm not going to give up doing news. I do need a microphone. I haven't saved up enough to buy a microphone. I'm that damn poor, but I will keep doing the news. And thank you all so much. Subscribe. Help us get to that 100 subscribers. It will be a great feeling. And thank you for the likes. Appreciate each other. Love each other. hug each other, love your family, your friends, and because you're gonna need them one day. So thank you guys for listening to another episode of Just Another Conversation, and I'm your host, Mr. Unspeakable, and we'll see you soon. Ciao.